Hi everyone, my name is Joycelynn Green, and before I get started, excuse the uniform. I had to work all week, so let's just act like this is a suit. So today I will be speaking about the do's and don'ts of delivering an effective presentation. The delivery of a quality presentation is linked to providing undivided attention to conveying the desired message for the audience to receive it as intended. The phrase "to be felt," which is the objective of this briefing, is for each listener to, is the cornerstone for assisting someone in achieving the goal of delivering a good speech. Throughout my briefing, I'll be discussing three main topics, which are what I have learned, what I struggled with, and how I applied it to my everyday life, and explaining the reason behind them. So throughout this course, I have studied material about effectively presenting. When delivering a briefing, it is vital to be clear, logical, and organized. The organization of a good presentation has three parts: the beginning, the body, and the ending. The beginning of a briefing is where you tell the audience what you plan on telling them. You can begin by stating your name, title, subject, and the main points of your briefing, kind of how I did at the beginning of this video. Then you go into the body. This is where you actually tell them. It is best that you begin your before you begin your presentation, you write out an objective to help you better guide through the process. Then choose your main topics, organizing them by chronological order, cause and effect, problem solving, or pros and cons to ensure that the presentation makes sense. Then finish off with the ending. Tell them what you told them. Many briefings have a standard ending where you just repeat and reiterate what you just told the audience during the beginning of the briefing. Support the briefing by using visual and verbal support. Verbal support could consist of definitions, examples, comparison, or statistics and testimony. Choose a support that better suits your audience and the topic. Visual support can consist of pictures or PowerPoints, and these can enhance your briefing and help visual learners to comprehend the topic. The delivery of a briefing is also very important. Knowing the subject will be the first step in ensuring you have a good speech. Then displaying any of the 6 themes that Dr. Klein speaks about. So the first one is going to be method. That one is planning your briefing idea by idea rather than word for word. With this method, you must prepare carefully to allow your audience to adjust and sound more controversial. Then we have eye contact. This is one of the most important tools for a briefing. To ensure the best results, you must look directly at the audience, directly at people, not over their head or over their shoulders, because this isn't as effective. Eye contact keeps the audience interested. It allows you to adjust to nonverbal feedback, and it makes your overall speech look more credible. Then we have body language. For this method, it is a bit challenging as most speeches are delivered from behind a podium, but even then, it is crucial to make sure that you're not rocking, swaying, or leaning throughout the duration of your speech. Then we have gestures. As you see, I'm using my gestures a lot because I am a big hand talker. So you're gonna use your hands, your shoulders, your arms, your head, your face, anything to reinforce that information that you're giving. Gestures can also make the briefing feel more personal and less tense. Then we have the voice. So there are 3 characteristics that are important to any speech. The first is quality. You should strive in producing a pleasing tone and using your voice to its best abilities. The second is understandability. The audience must understand you. Pay attention to articulation, pronunciation, and avoid stock phrases like okay or and which I struggle with all the time. It's a bad habit. The third is variety. Being sure to switch things up, like your volume, pitch, and your emphasis. Then lastly, we have transitions. Making sure that your parts are tied together. Effective transitions provide a logical flow and add to that professional touch. Of these 6 methods, I think I utilized gestures the most. Like I said before, I'm a huge hand talker, so that's just a given. However, before this course, I had the biggest issue with public speaking. I still find myself struggling at times, even with all the information that I have learned throughout this term. I'm a very shy and quiet-natured person, as some may call it. And because of this, it's challenging speaking in front of big crowds, even small crowds. I tend to stutter, trip over my words, and get nervous when I have to look people in the eyes. I also struggle with stock phrases. Clearly, I'm still saying them a lot. No matter how much I practice and rehearse, when I get in front of a crowd, all of the memory just leaves my body, and I fill my speeches with and to kind of stretch it out. And how did I apply everything that I've learned? So, although it has been a challenge, I have gotten better at it. I apply everything that I have learned throughout this course to become a better speaker. I was recently challenged with delivering a speech to about 75% of the employees here at my job, and I work at a very big company, as you all can see. I had to inform them of a recent committee that I was made the president of. It's called the Make a Difference Committee. So I had to go in and explain to all of the staff what the committee was, the point of the committee, how the committee was going to benefit the hotel and the staff members, and if they wanted to join, if they had any questions they may have needed to ask, anything like that. I also had to be convincing because I wanted people to come and join my club. I wanted people to be on my team. So I had to deliver my speech in a way that was convincing to everybody. I had to catch their attention. I had to catch their eye. I had to give them something that was going to be worth them signing up for. So at the time of delivering my speech, I had prepared beforehand. I made me a presentation on a PowerPoint. So I thought that I was ready. I thought I was prepared. But as I walked up to that podium, it felt like the longest walk I've ever taken in my life. As I was walking up there, my hands began to shake. The nerves just kind of started to take over my body, and everything that I had practiced and rehearsed and went over just went out the window. It was gone. It was not there. Then as I got up there and I began to talk, although the nerves were still taking over me, I thought back about everything that I've learned in this class. How all the tips and the tricks, all of the PowerPoints and the modules that we went over that talked about Dr. Klein, and how to apply effective speaking into your everyday life. How I watched many videos of my classmates as they delivered their briefings, and I picked up and I learned. All of that came back to me, and I effectively delivered my speech, and everything went well. And I also realized that it's not that serious. And the faster you get it over with, the faster you're done. So in conclusion, not only did I learn the importance of delivering a good briefing, but I also learned how. What I learned about public speaking, the challenges I faced, and how I applied that knowledge are one of the most important things that I have learned throughout this course. So thank you all for listening, and I've had an amazing time with you all. Have a good one.